Will the U.S. women's team take the World Cup ahead of the historic Women's World Cup final on Sunday when the U.S. faces off against Japan? We take a closer look at our home team and the secret to its success with WSJ's sports reporter, Geoff Foster. Geoff, it's safe to say the U.S. is killing it so far, isn't it?
Yeah, this has been very exciting. It's funny, like a week ago, this team was actually being criticized, even though they hadn't lost. You know, there's high expectations. This isn't like the men's team, you know, last summer where we're just sort of happy to be there, happy to win a game. This team is expected to do well. They're expected to win. And, you know, a week ago, there was some criticism, even though they hadn't lost, but I think the game against Germany has changed all that.
Oh, Carly Lloyd's penalty kick. Can we talk about that
it's
for
amazing.
a second?
You know, if you think about, look at what she's done alone in the last two games. She scored 2 goals, and the only goal they scored against China in the quarterfinals, and then set up the second goal against Germany. So she's really stepping up.
I love her confidence. She's at one point she said there's a certain penalty kick if you get it just right. There's no goalie in the world that can
and you know,
stop it.
On that stage, we've seen this with the men. We've seen this countless times. You know, a lot of people crack when they have to take those penalty kicks. There's a tremendous amount of pressure.
And she did not. Can we talk quickly about England's tragic own goal?
Yeah, that's about as bad as it gets. England was sort of the surprise team in this tournament. A lot of people didn't really think they would even make it to the second round, and to lose in that fashion. I mean, own goals are always bad, and to have an own goal in the 90th minute, I mean,
that's devastating. All right, that was what we wanted to say about that. But let's go back to the U.S. team because what is this team doing so right?
Well, for one, you got to give credit to the defense. I mean, they haven't given up a goal since like the 27th minute of the first game.
Incredible.
Julie Johnstone's really emerged in the center of the defense, and the whole defense is strong, and then you have Hope Solo behind them, so it's impossible really to score against them. They were being criticized for their offense, but that seems to have turned the corner just in the last game. And just in general, they sort of seem to have the experience and, you know, the will to win, and also their fitness is incredible.
I was going to say, is their training just off the chart?
Yeah, I mean, you know, some of these women, you know, Abby Wambach, Megan Rapinoe, they're in their 30s, mid-30s, and they just work incredibly hard. They really are in the best shape of any opponent they'll face in this tournament.
Don't women get stronger in their mid-20s, though? I mean, women get stronger a little later in life than men. So
yeah, it's a good point. I mean, I think you see, I mean, there's a woman on Japan, Homari Sawa, who was sort of the hero of the last World Cup. She's in her 6th World Cup.
Right.
You know, and she doesn't play as much anymore, but, you know, you really can't extend your career, whereas if you're 32 in men's soccer, you're already a dinosaur. So
looking ahead to Sunday, what are you expecting to see? What are Japan's strengths, weaknesses?
Well, Japan is an interesting team, and they're very tactical. They're very well coached. They love to possess the ball. They're sort of similar to the U.S. in the sense that they have good defense, but I think really the most interesting thing is the rivalry here. And what this means to the U.S. If you remember what happened in 2011, it was a really heartbreaking loss, and a lot of these women were on that team, and they experienced it. And, you know, it took them a long time to overcome that. They got a little bit of revenge the next summer, 2012, when they won the gold medal to beat Japan, but this is the one they won. And, you know, as exciting as it would have been to see England make the Cinderella run to the final, the fact that they get to play Japan again for the 2nd time in a row, it's about as good as it gets.
We can only hope that Carly Lloyd gets another penalty kick, right? All right.
Any goal would be fine.
Any goal. Really. All right, Geoff, we can't wait for Sunday. Thanks so much for coming in to talk to us.